Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. Um, Today we've got a really special tarot card reading, and this is for Anna. And Anna is inquiring about her husband's mistress and would like to know if they're going to leave each other. So we'll do a tarot card reading and find out. I've already been getting a couple of things already about this particular situation. Just ever since the question's been posed. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to respond to someone's to do a reading for someone because sometimes I'm and this is kind of really hard to explain, but sometimes I have to get like as I'm getting information and it's coming in, the information starts to come in more and more, but it could be a little bit fragmented. So sometimes a little bit of time has to elapse for me to really sort of get a clearer, more full picture. So sometimes it's just not the right time, and it's honorable to note that. So I've just been shuffling the cards here for Anna and looking to find out to see if her husband and mistress will leave each other. So I'm just going to bring these out, and then I'll show them to you guys in that. So the first card is the past. This represents the past, and this is about betrayal. You see there's 3 swords here, and there's a heart. So oftentimes when this happens, it's like cheating or something along those lines. So this is the past, and so this is what has happened in Anna's life is the husband and mistress, they've pretty much connected, and that was what happened, and so it's probably pretty painful, as you could imagine, for Anna. So the next card is Justice. So, Justice isn't blind. Notice there's no blindfold on Justice in this picture, and notice that the scale is there. It's about balancing things out. The sword is about the mental. And really, for this particular card here, this is our present moment. And so it's about justice is sort of about, when injustice is done, we have to have a balance of justice by being a correction. So oftentimes when this card comes up, it's about correction. It's also, this card also picks up where fortune leaves off. So the fortune card in the major arcana comes in, and then the next card that follows that card is the justice card. So you might get like an insatiable amount of good fortune. Oftentimes the fortune card is about, receiving kind of like an unexpected gift or something along those lines. Well, justice kind of picks up with that. And sometimes if you're given too much, it's about correcting that. So like, probably you've seen things online where people check their bank account balance and they have more money in there than they should. And it's like, oh, wow, this is great. Yeah, hopefully they don't ever find out. Well, justice is about correcting that imbalance. So it's sort of like double entry accounting kind of, where, you put one entry in and then one entry has to come back out. But anyway, this is our current situation in that. And really, this is teaching us about the importance of changing our actions in order to get different results. So if something didn't necessarily work for you in the past, this card is about really trying to give you the advice of, don't repeat your past actions thinking you're going to get a different result, because the likelihood that you will just really isn't there. Now, our future card, and guys, I'm calibrated to about 3 months out. So this future card here, we have the High Priestess. Okay, so oftentimes when people see this card, and people that have been around, tarot for any length of time, they kind of start to understand that the High Priestess is really the intuition. She represents the intuition. It's sort of like that little silent voice inside our mind that says, you shouldn't do this, or maybe you would want to pursue this, or yeah, I've got a good feeling about this for you, or I don't really have that great a feeling. So she doesn't really say a lot, but she speaks volumes. Okay, so the High Priestess is very much intuitive. We get information through instincts. Um, the high priestess is able to really more or less understand like hidden messages and things like that. So we start to get information and it starts to come in. Now, for this here, I'm seeing about 2 months out that some information is going to come to the forefront, and it's going to really start to uh, influence your decision making, Anna. So, in this regard, the high priestess is going to start to make you more aware of things that maybe you weren't aware of before. And it's also and she's also going to kind of give you insight about things that will start to come in. But let's continue. We've got the past, present, and future pretty much out of the way now. We have an idea of what's to come, and that's just that we're going to get more information, but it's going to come in very intuitively, more subtly. It's not going to be so much the direct information that we would get, like if someone just calls us up randomly out of the blue and starts relaying information. But it's not necessarily what someone says sometimes, but it's kind of the intonation or the kind of what they don't say that starts to affect us and starts to come into our reality. So the next card is the answer card, and the answer card is this Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is, sometimes this is called the thief in the night. This is someone that kind of leaves camp and kind of goes it alone, goes on their own in that. Five's all about change, and so it's about changing things up, shifting gears, moving in a different direction. And that's what the answer is, but we'll talk more about that in the context of what our outcome is here shortly. As far as the energy that goes that's around the Justice card right now, that correction, that imbalance is sort of the what goes around comes around, fixing things, we have the energy of the Page of Wands. Now, pages are messengers. Wands are about this creative energy, and wands, oftentimes when you see wands, it's about action. So when you see things active, or you think about movement, you think about things that are like this activity. We're talking about action verbs here, doing something. And so the Page of Wands is bringing us this message about, it's like we feel like we need to be doing something, or we need to start taking some action, or we get like a spark of an idea. Something comes into our mind. We start to get something, and it stirs us up, gets us excited, and things start to happen. And so that's what's happening right now with this Justice card. You're getting some kind of information. It's coming in, and you feel like, okay, this is going to work out for me, or you're getting a good sense about it. And that's what's happening with this here. The mistress and the husband and everything like that. So you're starting to think in your mind like, okay, they're probably like something good is coming about from this, and they're probably going to be leaving each other. And I guess I'm going to take these glasses off. I'm thinking there's a glare going on right there. So that's pretty much that. The next card that we have is really kind of what you would like to see happen, or kind of like the result that you would like to see going on with it. And we have this Eight of Cups. Now, cups are all about relationships. 8 of them. Well, 8 in numerology is really all about like groundedness. It's about the material world. It's about accumulation. It's about wealth. Oftentimes, when you see that, you see wealth, or you see money coming into someone's life. A lot of times when you see the 8 come up in numerology. But for this particular card, though, it's actually the rejection of material life. It's about kind of letting the material go, and it's sort of a disappointment in love. And that's where the heart is right now, and that's kind of like in your mind, like it's just kind of like rejecting love. And you'd like to see this situation resolve itself. When this card comes up, it's oftentimes that the situation would resolve itself in the way that you would like it to, or I'm sorry, not in the way that you would like it to, but the situation would resolve itself in a way that you would like, but not to the degree that you want it to. So that's kind of like where you're kind of at with this. So no matter what really happens, what the outcome is, say the mistress and the husband do part ways, that may be fine and dandy. That may be kind of what you're wanting, but it's still not going to kind of your attitude about this is that it's still not going to resolve itself to the, kind of in the way that you would like for it to happen. The outcome is not going to bring a lot of satisfaction or happiness overall. Other things would need to happen and that kind of thing. But this card is also about really seizing the day and kind of leaving the past behind. And that's kind of where your mindset might be regarding kind of this whole thing. You'd like to see justice done, but at the same time, the past is the past, and maybe it's time to move on. And so then the next card that we have is really the outcome. Now, the outcome card is, this is, the card that I'm, picking up. Now we have to think of the outcome in terms of the answer. And we've already seen that we have that Five of Swords. Swords are about mental, changing ourselves mentally. Our outcome card, on the other hand, is the Six of Pentacles. So in the Six of Pentacles, you see a person, and you see that scale. That's about keeping balance there and all. You see the coins, which is about financial. It's also about just, being grounded. And you see there's a distribution of wealth going on. This person is giving money to people less fortunate than him or herself. And he's happy about doing that. And the receivers, the people that are poor, they're also very happy. Notice their expressions on their faces. They're very satisfied, and they're very happy, and they're glad to be taking, and they're glad to be receiving, and he's glad to be giving. So the outcome is basically, as far as this goes, is that it's psychological peace. Okay, so you get sort of this, whether or not you're giving to this situation or you're taking from this situation, you're blessed. I mean, it's a signal of prosperity for you. Good things are coming about for you. It's also about this idea of not giving away too much. So, if the situation presents itself and the husband and the mistress part ways, which is, evidently what's happening, it's this cautionary thing. This outcome is sort of this caution of just be careful not to give too much of yourself back into this situation with the husband and so on. Now, when we look at this overall and whatnot, we do see that there is a correction that's in the works. We see that the husband and the mistress probably are not going to be together, but let's just, for the sake of just absolute clarity, to answer the question, let's just do a very simple 3-card reading, a yes or no, and just find out and get you absolute certainty on this. I pretty much already know the answer to this, but let's just get some clarity from the cards. Let's see what the cards have to say. Go ahead and cut this. And we'll just draw 3 cards. Just go ahead and do those now. Okay, and we have the first card is just about, again, it's the wish is fulfilled, but not to the degree that you would like it to be. So this is a yes, so let's continue. We'll talk about it in a minute. And then the next is a yes. And this is the Knight with the Pentacles and that. So this is about, this is the most grounded Knight of the court cards, specifically to the Knights. And he's also one of the slowest. So are they going to leave each other? Yes. Is it going to be a fast process? This card is indicating no. It would be one that would require some more time. And then finally in all, we have the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is a yes also. This is a wish card. So whatever your wish is, that is actually what your outcome is. So it's a very positive card for you. So however you'd like to see this. So the thing is this is also a card about getting kind of caught up in our own fantasies, kind of in our own mind. And if we don't, resolve some of our inner conflicts and different things, it's really hard to kind of be able to move on forward, be able to move forward. And what really the answer here is to more or less align our actions with the dreams that we want. So whatever needs to happen, that needs to happen. So I hope that this kind of has helped you a little bit. So yeah, the mistress and the husband won't be together indefinitely. It does look like it's going to take a little bit of time for them to completely separate from the relationship. And unfortunately, like, that's maybe not exactly the outcome that you were looking for, but that just seems to be the indication of what the cards are telling me. Now, like with anything, a lot of it comes down to our, the actions and choices and things that we make. So, like, I always try to caution people that, even though we can do a tarot card reading, we can get an immediate answer right now. It's fine and dandy, and that's like if nothing unforeseen happens, and everything kind of goes according to the way it would. But now that you have this information, you're free to make different choices. I mean, you have an influence more or less over the future in a sense. So because of that, it gives you the ability to change the future as you like. But as of right now, things moving forward, going forward, everything is pretty much that's what we get from the situation. So I hope it helps you. And guys, if you guys have any other thoughts or ideas, or if you're a divination practitioner of any sort and you'd like to leave some advice or some answers or anything like that, you can do so down in the comment section below, and hopefully Anna can check out that information as well as as you guys put that out there. So that's pretty much it. And guys, we will talk to you guys here in another moment, because I have another reading to do here. But for this reading, we're going to go ahead and end it here. And I hope to see you guys on another episode of Indirect Knowledge. Guys, for those of you that are brand new watching the channel, I'm a monk, and so I do a lot of service work, and we spread love for God, and do a myriad of other things on a day-to-day basis. This is just one of the services that I perform for the public at large. So if you'd like to support the monks, you can do so by going to helpbydonating.com. We ask that you do it from the heart. So if it's not from the heart, or there's any resentment or anything like that, don't even bother. Also, if you guys like this and you'd like to learn more about tarot, and you'd like to get notifications when we come online, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, click the bell notification. You'll get notifications every time we come back on. And of course, if you like the video, please help it in the YouTube search algorithm, whatever you want to call it, by hitting that like button. That would help us. And thank you guys so much, and we will see you on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge. Thanks.